If you're just turning 65, you're new to Medicare, really the two most common plans, and this is not just us, this is across the industry, is going to be the G plan or the N plan. N is in Nancy. And so those are going to be the two most common ones. The G plan, like Drew mentioned, is the most comprehensive. The only thing it doesn't cover, again, if you're looking at the chart, is the Part B deductible. And so that's the first amount that you have to pay out of pocket for Part B expenses. So
Right. Okay.
283 is the only out-of-pocket expense that you have for the Part B deductible, which is the only thing the G plan doesn't cover. When you look at the N plan, that it's also not covered. You have some copays, right? So if you go to the doctor, you go to emergency room, there's some copays on the N plan. And then a big one in my mind is the N plan does not cover excess charges. And so what an excess charge is the doctor's office, when they contract with Medicare, they agree to what Medicare is willing to pay for certain services. The doctor's office is allowed to charge more than that, up to 15% more than what Medicare says they're willing to pay. But they cap it at 15%. That's what that excess charge is. That's that extra 15%. The N plan does not cover that. But I at least want to point that out is that is something the N plan will not cover, the G plan does. But if you started Medicare before then, you still have access to the F plan. And so that plan actually covers the Part B deductible as well. So you really have no out-of-pocket costs on that plan. And so again, if you've been on Medicare a while, that still exists. If you're new to Medicare, G plan is the most common. The other option that we'll see some people use, especially in states that charge more for supplements, think New York, think some parts of Florida are really expensive. There's other states that have really higher costs than here in North Carolina, for example, is you start looking at a high deductible G plan. So 2,950 is that high deductible for the high deductible G plan, but now your premium is much lower. So that's another option that people consider. Each company, if you're once you decide on the lettered plan, a G plan, an N plan, a high deductible G, then you can shop that around from company to company to see who's offering the best price. I want United Healthcare, and they're starting with that first, as opposed to starting which plan they want first and then shopping that around. So you really want to choose. So the first decision you want to make is, do I sign up for Medicare? Once that's made, now we make a decision. Do I go the Medicare supplement route, Medicare Advantage route? Once we've made that decision, let's say we're going the Medicare supplement. We then decide what lettered plan you want. So let's say you want a G plan. Now we get to what company you want from that standpoint. So that's the order that you want to make those decisions, not come in saying, I want this company without having done those other steps of that decision tree.